Louisiana Beer Review Special Edition, Milwaukee's Best Premium Beer Revisited. I'm getting away from giving the numbers for these special editions because I've done some reviews that really should have been special editions that were sort of like revisits, and then others, you know, so it's, in other words, it's confusing. Like I did Coors Light Draft, and then Coors, after I had done Coors Light Bottle, that's sort of like a revisit, but whatever the case, it doesn't really matter. That's really not important. And but it is a special edition. It's a revisit. I've been and oh, and what else is special? I'm eating this by request. One of my viewers, Batman, let's call him. That's what he calls himself on YouTube, not his real name. Wanted me to do this beer with a meatball marinara from Subway. For whatever reason, that's what he wanted. That's what he's getting. I'm going to put a little crystal hot sauce on it. Shouldn't miss an opportunity to put this on stuff. This is an interesting beer. It was introduced in 1896. Back in 1996, 100th anniversary, I asked Miller Brewing Company could they send me some information on their beers. So they sent me this nice brochure and some other stuff too. It's got a whole big rundown of how they brew beer and the history of their company, and it gives a profile of all the beers back in 96. A lot of stuff is no longer made, like Miller Reserve and Miller Genuine Draft Light, but a lot of it still is, and it's interesting looking at the Leinenkugel brand back then, 17 years ago. But there's a section on Milwaukee's Best. You might be able to see they had a different label back then. The original label, which I always thought was the best looking label, had a wider angle view of the picture of the delivery wagon with the barrels. It's a former Gettleman Brewing Company brand name. I'll summarize this. Miller purchased Gettleman, its next door neighbor in Milwaukee, in 1961. They reformulated Milwaukee's Best in 84, following the successful introduction of Meisterbrau. That was in 83. Really a reintroduction of Meisterbrau. They reformulated that, giving Miller a 1-2 punch in a popular price segment. Meisterbrau was discontinued in 2005. Not only that, they sent me a bunch of brand fact sheets. Here's the fact sheet from Milwaukee's Best. You can see the original beautiful label. They've always had this shield on it. The label has changed over the years. You can see it's always had a shield of some sort. Introduced in 1986 nationally, 84 test market. I remember it came here in 84 when they were trying it here in LaPlace, Louisiana. Back then, half barrel kegs, 12-ounce returnable bottles, which you almost never see, 12-ounce, 16-ounce cans, and today we get even bigger cans, 24-ounce and 25-ounce, I think, and maybe even 40-ounce bottles, 32-ounce quarts. Positioning: popular price, full calorie category. Full calorie product, smooth brewed for consistent quality at a value price. Advertising: television and outdoor. I haven't seen a Milwaukee's Best commercial. Used to see Milwaukee's Best Light. Also supported by point of sale materials. Advertising agency Young and Rubicam, Chicago. Probably not anymore. 133 calories, 4.3% alcohol. Okay. You know, you're going to get a thick white head with these American style lagers, although this head is more like medium, but if you pour it aggressively, it's going to be thick and white. And you're going to get a clear, bubbly straw appearance. Looks golden here with the light not being ideal. If I was sitting outside, it would be straw. The aroma, now I know a lot of people that drink Milwaukee's Best and they like it. A lot of your beer reviewers are going to rip on it, say it's garbage, trash, and in fact, they probably wouldn't even review it. I started drinking this back in 96 when I began drinking beer, February 96, and I always thought it was good, and I still think that. It's got a good clean aroma with a lot of grain, sweet grain, and you know you're getting, what are the grains? The corn, yellow corn grits, and the barley malt. Probably 6-row barley. Uh, let's go with the flavor. This 6-pack of pints was $3.50 plus tax at Walmart. Sweet grain, clean water, lightly hopped, but you do pick up a little hop bitterness. It's there to round the beer out. Light and watery mouthfeel. You really get an underlying grain get a grain undertaste, and you get a dry, not super dry, but dry, crisp, clean, refreshing, highly drinkable finish. I mean, I know some people, this is all they drink. That's it. They love it. And they probably like the price, especially, but you might say, well, people drink anything if it's cheap. Wrong. That's wrong. They tried selling some really notoriously cheap stuff around here, like beer 30. They had it for $10.99 a 30-pack. Lasts about a month. I'm sure people bought it, and knowing people around here, they probably brought it back to the stores where they bought it and said, this is terrible, I can't drink it, and they had to get refunds, and they just killed it. And I know it must have sold initially for $10.99 a 30-pack, but it's so bad nobody wanted to drink it. I mean, this is good. This is well made. I mean, Miller's not going to put out some horror like that stuff, like beer 30. Let's see how it goes with this sandwich. I hardly ever go to Subway. The girl wanted to know what I wanted on the sandwich. I said, anything that you can put on it. When I have a sandwich, I want it fully dressed. It's really good. Is it worth $4.36 after tax? Well, that's debatable, but it probably is. And with inflation these days, and nothing is really worth the price they charge. So it's good. It's a very good sandwich. Nice little thin lacing. How would I rate Milwaukee's best? Well, I'll tell you what. It's certainly as good as any other mass-produced American-style lager. Of course, you're going to pay a lot more for Miller Genuine Draft, Budweiser, Coors Bank. Well, maybe not too much more for Coors Banquet, because right now they got it all over Louisiana for $3.99 a 6-pack of pints. They're really pushing the Coors Banquet, and the distributors have been telling me that it's selling like mad. They're bringing in pallets, big pallets into the store, and they can't keep them in stock. You know, any of the mass-produced beers, Pabst Blue Ribbon, it's as good as the premium ones, like I say, Budweiser or Coors Banquet, or like I said, Miller Genuine Draft, those kind of things. Those beers are so similar in style and taste and bodies, you really have to pay close attention to pick up the differences. There are differences. Don't let people tell you that they all taste the same. They don't. But they're so similar in taste that you can't really say that one is that much better than the other. So in that situation, you really do want to look at price. And for $3.50 a 6-pack, this is a hands down. I'm talking about 16 ounces pints. 473 milliliters. It's a hands down winner. I mean, you're never going to go wrong with Milwaukee's Best. 4.3% alcohol. It's easy drinking. It's no foul. all flavors. The consistency level is through the roof, is astronomical. Anything Miller puts out is going to always taste the same. I've been drinking these, like I said, 17 years. They always taste the same. I mean, always exactly the same. And I've been reading some articles. That's one of the problems that some of the craft brewers are complaining about, that a lot of the craft beers are being put out there. They're not consistent. You buy it one week, it's great. The next week you go back and buy it, it's bad. You're not going to find that with anything from Miller. I don't care whether it's Magnum or the Leinenkugels, anything. Just think of anything Miller makes. So, Les Bon Ton Roulé. This is, I'm going to give it an A-. It's an excellent beer. You know, it's the lower end of excellent, but I got so much admiration for this beer. So, and it really gives you a good burp. And I'm going to end this review by saying, see what I mean? Y'all come on down to southeastern Louisiana.